that's what makes this thing cool. Honestly, like this Internet Invitational, if you want to hate YouTube golf, it's fine. I got it. But like, there's so many different personalities. You got a bunch of dudes from Barstool that aren't golfers that are great personalities. I don't know how close Dave's got a lot going on, I'm sure. I don't know how close he keeps his ear to the streets in terms of like golf social media. But when he got down there, like, hey, we're having this thing, and all of a sudden he meets these people. Like, what was his take on some of the characters, dude, like Duke and these guys? You know,
it's funny because Dave, I would expect to be very like tangentially into the whole thing and kind of like keeping an arm's length, whatever. He was incredibly into it, and he, you know, I was on the first tee with him the first day. And he really, I think he had like a cheat sheet that his like, you know, one of his guys whipped up that was like, here's what you need to know about this person, that person. But every guy that walked onto the tee, he was pretty much amazed by. And it was a wild mix. I mean, it was like DOD King would roll up, right? God. And then Dave, literally, you can't make this up. Dave looks at him, and Dave's just trying to figure out how to flip a tee to determine who goes first, and just looks at him and goes, you got a tee on you? Dead serious. And DOD King's like, no, I don't use a tee. And Dave's like, what? And then sniffs that out, and DOD's like, yeah, it's like, you know, my thing. I hit it, and Dave's like, well, you can't be better without a tee. And DOD's like, well, you know, it puts a fear in the opponent. And Dave's like, oh, so you just did a gimmick, and now you're stuck doing it forever. And DOD's like, yeah.
Pretty much that's it. Yeah, I made one video, and people watched it. So,
but then like the next guy that rolls up is like Chaz, and Chaz rolls up there.
My favorite.
He's the best.
My favorite. It's not even close.
He's got
what
such
a move he's got too.
Good energy, great move, and doesn't miss a fairway. Steps up, pipes one down the middle, and Dave's just like, This is an unbelievable world that I'm in right now. He's like, what is happening with all these people? So, and then I remember at one point too, he looked back and it had been like, you know, it had been like Kyle Berkshire hit like a 2-iron, like 350 yards down the middle. Joshua Kelly piped one down the middle. DOD puts one on the ground, smokes one down the middle. FP smokes one down the middle. And then like, I'm up. And whatever, do what I do. Yeah. And then he's like, well, no wonder I get so many comments that are like, how come Riggs is your golf guy? He sucks. He's like, everybody else is good. I was like, well, yeah, there's a lot of good players in this world.
What kind of scores does Chazzy shoot? Because I've watched 2.5 episodes now, and the dude hadn't missed a shot.
Dude, I believe he is the highest ranked adaptive golfer in the world.
God.
Yeah.
He moves he moves it.
I know. He's
pound for pound longest dude. He's like Berkshire.
And he is fiery. He's competitive. But yeah, I don't know what his like handicap is. I don't know if he's like a 2 or scratch. I imagine it depends a lot on the tees. It's like he's not hitting it overly far, but he's not hitting it nowhere either. Like he's getting it out there. Yeah. But he can play some golf. He's a good player.
I love him. Let's talk about the Duke. Where the fuck did this guy come from? How did y'all discover him?
Critter.
Dude, the Duke came from Robbie Berger.
Yeah, you found him.
I found him and put him all over his Instagram when they played together for the first time, and was just going like line by line of what the Duke was saying, what the Duke was doing, and it got insane traction on Bob's Instagram. And then, you know, when we're coming up with this list of 48 people was very hard to come up with. It's like, who are we going to cut? Who are we going to invite? Who's in the space? Who, you know, whatever. And like, it ended up all kinds of drama in the Barstool world. And Bob was like, the Duke has to be in this event.
He's so
And we were like, okay. Unreal. And sure enough, we invite the Duke, and he was incredible. I mean, Dave's like, I think that's the funniest person I've ever met. And also the Duke, like, I think the Duke is still at Big Cedar Lounge.
Yeah.
I think I
don't know what he's got to race home for.
I think he just was like, yeah, no, I'm not leaving. I'm just going to keep going, because every time I look, he's posting. He's like by a lake. He's shirtless. He's ripping a dart. He's playing golf. But yeah, the Duke you cannot make up the Duke. And the fact that you could have like Brad Dahlke and the Duke in the same tournament is incredible.
That's a good tournament. Yeah, I think Bobby, I remember talking to Bobby right when it first came out. Like, he just signed up, like, play golf, like public golf out in LA when they were living out there. Got paired up with this dude on the first tee, ran, was like, holy shit. So he's like putting him on his Instagram story, and the dude was just lighting the world on fire. And then all of a sudden it became like a real thing. Duke's got to think like, what the hell happened? He just showed up for his regular Saturday game, and all of a sudden,
the Duke too was just like, we were kind of come up with pairings and matchups, and the Duke would just, you know, everybody would have kind of a take. Like Paige would be like, well, I think because he hits it longer, you know, you should really think about mixing them. And Duke would be like, Riggs, I'm just so happy to be here. I don't care.
Just send me out there anywhere. I'll run through a wall for you.
He was great. He was great. I know.
He was awesome. There's some special parts with him. They had to blur out a few things.
Yep. Yeah, no, he's the Duke. Like it's part of
he is who he is.
Yeah, you're gonna get some
I
stuff.
had heard about this other guy, but I didn't know how good he was. And like I said, I've just seen a little bit of the videos. Peter Finch is ridiculous. How far does this guy hit the ball?
Dude, so I also didn't know. I guess people were saying that he had made a really conscious effort in the last year or 2 years to like change his game and get like, and he was, there's like a tier of players that we sort of had that is, it's the Brian Bros and Quan and Dalkey and like Finch is in that tier. I mean, he was hitting it a mile and just didn't really have any holes in his game. And he's got that, dude. He's got those like big quads.
He's a big human.
And just kind of puts everything into it. He like does everything I don't do. Like uses his fucking lower body and the big muscles.
He does everything.
All of the things. Yeah, I get
just absolutely smashes the ball and was hitting it so solid, so straight. Yeah, he played really, really well. And it's like you don't have 9-hole matches go by very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like all this build up and all this, and one thing could go wrong. And if you're 1 or 2 down in a 9-hole match, like next thing you know, it's over. And so like to play consistently throughout and like impress and bring it and all that hoopla is like not the easiest thing. And yeah, he's a really good player.
Well, you're currently 2 down with 2 to play when I stopped watching to come here to film this.
Oh shit!
Damn it!
Did you clutch up?
I don't give away anything. No spoilers.
No spoilers, but you said like I'd forgotten about the Luke Quan thing, even though that like took over. So I'm safe to assume
I just don't remember
there's
anything.
more shit to come,
There
drama
is.
wise.
Portnoy tweeted today. He's like, just wait. He goes, y'all will all forget about the Luke Quan stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Luke's probably like release the
correct. He's like,
archives, dude.
let's
Churn this shit
out.
out. Yeah,
Let's
put it on.
these release
Let's
dates.
Netflix
What are we
this thing
doing?
and just
What are we
put it all
doing?
out.
Yeah, no, the drama gets crazy, and at the end, I mean, at the way the format works is like there will be 4 teams of 3 in the third round that will be playing alternate shot on the new Cliffhangers Par 3 course, 18 holes.
4 teams of 3.
4 teams of 3.
Alternate shot. And 3.
Alternate shot,
Wow.
alternate shot, alternate shot.
And the top 2 teams out of those 4 advance to a championship. You keep the same teams, and the championship is 18 holes, alternate shot, stroke play.
On the real course.
Or match play on the Paynes Valley Tiger Woods course. So, like, it gets to the point where it's like, we have all these matches going on. Then, like, pretty quickly by round 3, it's like very clear. There's one leaderboard, 4 balls in play, and then there's just 2 teams of 3, and whichever team wins is splitting $1 million between 3
Yeah.
people.
It's pretty amazing that nothing has leaked. Like, y'all done a great job of that. I mean, we couldn't get Cam Young to keep the Sam Burns pick quiet at the Ryder Cup selection.
No, we couldn't. No, we couldn't.
Never get invited to the Internet Invitational.
That was phenomenal. Yeah, no, we that's always a concern. We did, we had people sign like NDAs, but still that's pretty easy to violate. But yeah, people have been good about it too. I've been in some moments too, like within the first couple weeks after the Internet Invitational finished up, where I was like with someone who had a big role in it, and they were giving like an interview, and they were asked a question, and then like watching them get through it, and then come over to me afterwards and be like, that was really hard for me not to say something right there. Yeah, it was just like, it was, but no, everybody's done a really good job.